Welcome to the podcast. Come in and take a look. What's that over on the shelf? You've gone and written a book? Welcome to the show, guys! Hi guys, it is I, Cheeky Monkey HD.com here with the latest episode of the Cheeky Monkey HD podcast. Now you may be asking yourself a couple of questions around the intro to this podcast, in which I A, spoke in form of a poem, and 2, alluded to the fact that someone had written a book. And guys, that was me being really clever, because I have in fact written a poetry book. That's right, guys. I've got it here, I've got a copy here, don't worry. It's called Poems and Explanations by CheekyMonkeyHD.com. And it's a wonderful book. Even if I'm saying so myself, I think it's a wonderful book. It's available to purchase on Amazon in either ebook form or p-book form, where p-book means paper book. But what is this book? Well, from the title, Poems and Explanations, that's literally what's in it. There's some poems and there's some explanations about those poems. But why? Why, CheekyMonkeyHD.com? Why are you doing that? Well, let me read the blurb from the back of the book. That might explain it. Okay, here we go. Poems. Nobody reads them. Nobody likes them. Nobody understands them. Things are about to change. From the mind of CheekyMonkeyHD.com, that's my brain, comes Poems and Explanations, a book containing some of the hottest poems ever written, alongside detailed analysis of those poems by the man himself. There should be a bracket in there that says CheekyMonkeyHD.com, just to be clear. This isn't the poetry book to end all poetry books. It's the poetry book to start all poetry books. So that's the blurb on the back, guys. But what I'm trying to say is, unless you're a really clever guy like me, poems are probably just like gobbledygook. This is to people who aren't intellectuals like me. This is what a poem is. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. It's literally just a load of ba ba bas. But guys, poetry is so much more than that. It's a whole world of word soup that can be eaten with a spoon of understanding, which leads to a lovely warm feeling in your belly of poetry. So, am I going to read aloud some of the stuff out of the book? Well, I don't know. I've not decided yet, even though I've started the podcast, because ideally I would do a audio book of this. I've not done one yet, but if I was to #spoilers, read some of the book out loud on the podcast, that's cutting into my revenue stream. I'll do one. I'll do one. Introduction. And it does say in brackets, so you're not going to get lost, guys. It says in brackets, this bit is not a poem. I won't read that. That's good, that bit. But that's basically just saying the things that I have said in this introduction. So we don't know. Okay. Here's the first poem in the book. It's called My Pie. You've eaten my pie without my say-so. The taste so delicious, meat and potato. Open your mouth, teeth in my crust. It all starts to crumble, just like my trust. The truth is apparent. To share, I was willing, but your selfish approach has devoured my filling. Now, I'm sure you sat there thinking, that is beautiful, but it doesn't mean a lot to me. Well, you're gonna have to buy the book to get the explanation. I'm not reading it out. I'm not hand-holding you people. I'm here to make money at the end of the day, as well as share the word of poetry to you all. It's difficult, isn't it? Because I do want you to buy the book, but to buy the book, you will need to know what's in the book. But if I tell you what's in the book, you don't need to buy the book. It's very much what I'm going to call CheekyMonkeyHD.com's paradox. I'm just having a flick through now, see if there's anything else that I can... No, I don't want to give the good stuff away. I don't want to give the good stuff away. And there's no bad stuff that I'm happy to give away because it's all good stuff. So that's it really, guys. It's more of a press release than a podcast episode this time, in which I'm saying to you guys, get out there, look in some sort of show notes that I hopefully have attached to this podcast. Perhaps get on Amazon, whichever country you live in. It is available on several different platforms. Look for the title, Poems and Explanations by CheekyMonkeyHD.com. Then click on the buy, and then you get the book, and then you'll read it. And then you can write an email to jose@cheekymonkeyhd.com and say, that was a really good explanation, but could you give us a little bit more detail? And I might do that on another podcast. But really, you've got to buy the book and read the book and then respond to the book before I can do that. So that's it. The burden of proof is starting to lag very heavily on your shoulders. So that's about the end of the podcast, I think. Thank you. Well, guys, that was a very exciting podcast this week, wasn't it? In which I released a book that is available, as I say, to buy on Amazon. Please see the links. That's it. This is the official outro. So until next time, guys, I will see you later, Mr. Skater in an alligator. See you later. Bye, guys. That's the end of the poem. Turn it off the recording.